Hi everyone, we are beginning week 12, I believe, and as you know, we had 3 assigned writing projects for this class, and you've already completed number 1, definition and description, and you've recently completed number 2, the feasibility study. Now I want to introduce you to the assignment for writing project 3 so that you can be keeping it in mind as you do your homework for each successive week until this is due. So number 3 is the solicited formal proposal. And this one is to be in the neighborhood of 2,000 words, 1,900 to 2,300, and let's try and stick right to that if we can. So here's what will be due. November the 13th, you have homework 8. Homework 8 is completing a planning form with research dated 2013 to 2018 and no earlier. Avoid using outdated sources. November 20th is homework 9. Outline of your project 3 with the title, abstract, subheadings, and 3 graphics, types of which are specified in the homework 9 assignment. December 4, the draft of project 3 is due for peer review in groups, and also the same draft will be due for a similarity check, just to make sure that your use of sources is fair and accurate. And then December 11th, we're in about our final week there. The revised and final project 3 will be due. So we'll be working on this for a little bit over 4 weeks, possibly. Okay, so to complete writing project 3, your proposal is to be written, review chapter 12 for guidelines on proposal writing in general, and the solicited formal proposal in particular, which is discussed in pages 405 to 410 in your textbook. A lot of good information there. Your proposal is to be written for an internal audience. Internal means that you are writing in-house, within your organization, whatever it may be. So the internal audience is everybody who works at your organization. They may be bosses, they may be managers, they may be engineers, they may be nurses, they may be all kinds of things, but they all work for the same organization. So your proposal is to be written for an internal audience to suggest changes within the organization which your group has been assigned to. Okay, so whatever organization you've got, if you've got Hope County or Pure Green, this is your audience. You're writing for the rest of the Pure Green people, or the Hope County people, or the One Planet people. Specifically, you will suggest ways to solve a problem or improve practices in the organization of your group that your group has been assigned to. You can best accomplish your task by conducting research on what types of problems are being discussed in current research and what are the latest procedures for accomplishing tasks. So for example, if you're in nursing, you want to find out what are considered problems in hospitals that have something to do with what nurses do. Is there a problem with the staffing of nurses? Is there a problem with the tasks that the nurses are being asked to do? Is there a problem with the training that the nurses are being given? Is there a problem with the shift work that the nurses have been given? Whatever. So whatever are the latest procedures for accomplishing tasks in your particular field, that's what you should be researching. You need to find discussions in field. You can go into Google and look for websites that are created by groups of experts in your field, and yes, nurses do get together and make websites and talk about issues in their field. You can also go into the Henry Madden Library OneSearch page online, and you can hunt for any reliable type of trade magazine article. So basically whatever your field is, if you go into OneSearch, type in your terms, The next thing you do is you go into the left menu bar in OneSearch and you tick the box for peer reviewed. And you're also going to tick the box to restrict your sources to the last 5 years. There is a place on that left menu panel in the Madden Library OneSearch page where you can type in the range of years you want and then restrict your search to those years. And you would, of course, tick the box for article if you're looking for magazine articles, journal articles. Okay, you are also encouraged to request short informal interviews of your instructors and advisors in your department. If there's someone you've already got a pretty good relationship with, somebody whose class you're taking this semester, or anyone, in fact, some of you, if you're CNAs who want to be RNs, for example, you're already working in a hospital. So you're already working with people who have been employed in your field for a lot longer. So see if you can ask them some questions about current problems and changes in procedures in your field. So wherever you might be volunteering in your field, if you are shadowing sheriff, county sheriff deputies and you're interested in law enforcement, if you're working in labs at the university and you're majoring in chemistry or biology, maybe there are people working in your field and you can ask them about what's considered a current problem in field, what's considered a very recent procedure change in your field. Try and gather this information and see what's the what in 2018 in your field. Okay, you are to make up the person in your organization who solicited your proposal. So indeed, you can be replying to Betty Boop if you want to, Bugs Bunny, Elon Musk, why not? Somebody in your field. And you can make up a name. You're perfectly welcome to choose any name you would like, as long as it's not, shall we say, deeply offensive. You are to make up the person in your organization who solicited your proposal. Okay, this person who solicited your proposal, it should be a department head in a different department from the one that you are assigned to in your organization. And that person is seeking your expertise because you're an expert in a different field. So the expertise you choose to have and do research in should be related to your major, your coursework, stuff you already know. So if your college studies are leading you into marketing, for example, you're a business major specializing in marketing, perhaps the person who is soliciting your proposal is the chief engineer in your organization who would like you to try to solve a marketing problem for your organization, right? Similarly, if your field is nursing, perhaps the person requesting your proposal is a hospital administrator who would like you to suggest ways to improve patient health outcomes by changing some aspect of the nurse's job, be it the working environment, the hours, the training, or what have you. Okay, so you are to invent this person's full name and job title. It should be a job title that we can reasonably expect to exist somewhere in the world. And you also are inventing what is the department that they work in. Okay. And just think in terms of organizations, what are the possible departments in your organization? If your organization is agricultural, there are going to be people who do office work. There are probably going to be people who do marketing. There are going to be managers. And there are going to be people who work on job sites doing a variety of things, from picking and packing to welding to planting, etc. And my goodness, you guys know better than I do what people do in your field, I would imagine. Okay, use the formatting and organization suggestions in your textbook for solicited proposals, including the ABC format. Okay, so what do you need in your solicited proposal? You need the memo of transmittal. It's got to be a memo because it's in-house. Letters are usually for people outside the organization, but you're writing inside, so you need a memo. You need a title page for a solicited proposal. You need a table of contents. You're going to need an executive summary. That is for non-technical readers who are involved in management. You're going to need an introduction, and that's for everybody who's not a manager. You're going to need technical sections, and those are for all the people who do the technical work, whatever it may be in your particular organization. You're going to need management sections that speak to managers. Because remember, one of the main things we are learning about technical writing, especially this type of document, a solicited proposal, it's written for a bunch of different people to read, but nobody reads the entire thing, right? Everybody needs the table of contents so that they can pick and choose from what comes after to read. Executive summaries, again, are for managers. Introductions are typically for non-managers. Technical sections are for the people who do the technical work. Management sections are for perhaps middle management and upper management. You're going to need a cost section so you can talk about the upside or the downside. How much does it cost to make the change that you are suggesting, or does it save money, in fact, to make the change that you are suggesting? You need a conclusion because everything needs a conclusion. You're going to need 3 different types of graphics for this paper. And chapter 13 in your textbook talks about the types of graphics. They will need to be appropriately selected to make your text easier to grasp quickly. And one of the graphics, one of them, only one of them, must be your original work. They all can be, but they don't all have to be. Not all of us are great at making graphics, but you must make at least one. And here are the types. There are 3. These are the 3, okay? You need at least one of these, a table, a pie chart, or a bar chart. Any one of those. You can have more if you want, but at least one of those. In addition, you also need at least one line graph, or one flowchart, or one organization chart, okay? And last, you need at least one technical drawing or photograph. See, many choices. In my engineers, I'm really expecting some beautiful technical drawings from you guys. You're supposed to be good at it. You are good at it, let's be honest. Okay, a consistent system of APA-style documentation needs to be used because you're going to cite all of the research that you consult. Everything that's used in the paper, right, needs to have a citation. Including the interviews, although specifically in APA style, when you interview somebody, you only cite them in the body of your text. When you're saying what they said, you say, John Jones told me. But interviews don't go in the references page at the end, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, and in your textbook, you have a model for a solicited proposal. It's model 12.3 in your textbook, and that is a very fine model for you and should serve you well. All right, this has been the video going over Writing Project 3. I look forward to seeing more of your work, and thank you for your time.